Okay, so since it is July now, I thought I'd make a mid-year what I've crocheted so far this year video, because I was looking through my camera roll on my phone to see what I've made, and it was more than I thought it was. So I just wanted to do a check-in on what I've made so far this year. So first I finished the Charlie Brown sweater, which I think I said I wanted to make this year in a previous video. And so I finished it at the beginning of the year. It's like a in the round, ow, sorry, my cat has his claws in my foot. It's in the round granny stitch, kind of like color work sweater that was a Love Crafts pattern. I didn't love the way it came out, because even though I made it longer than they said I should, it still felt like it came out too short. So I didn't like that, but I still thought it was cute. Kind of, sometimes I get bored of sweaters and think it's annoying by the end of it, so that's what happened. Then I made a little ghost tapestry, which was my first finished tapestry I ever made. I didn't really love the way it came out. I'll insert photos of the projects, but I didn't love the way it came out at all. It was like wobbly around the edges weren't straight, what have you. Did not like it. I'm not sure if I'll try tapestry again, even though I bought yarn for another tapestry project earlier in the year and bought a pattern for it too. I don't know if I'll actually make it, but I should try it again. We'll see. Alright, then I made a scrappy hexagon cardigan. It seems like I used a lot of Christmassy colors on one side of it, which I didn't mean to do. It just sort of happened that way. It was cute. I did real ribbing on it, which is more than I usually do on the edges. When I say real ribbing, it's like actual crocheted ribbing rather than me doing half double crochets around the edges of it, which I do a lot on hexagon cardigans just because I'm lazy and I find it easier to do than actual ribbing on these projects. Okay, so the next project was me weaving in the ends of the blanket I made for my great aunt, because I had to do that. I think I finished it at the end of last year and just had to I had to weave in the ends, so I did that. So it looks pretty cool, and it got all sent out to her, and I got a letter back saying that she really enjoys it. So now she has a blanket for me and my grandmother. The story behind that is that my grandmother, years ago, my grandmother, also named Ainsley, years ago knit her a blanket, and that she still has. And she mentioned to my mom, this is my mom's aunt, that she still used the blanket my grandmother made her and loves it. And so my mom asked me to make me a blanket for her so that she'll have blankets from both Ainsleys. And so I crocheted her a blanket, and now it's all sent to her, and she really enjoys it. Next thing I made was a granny square bag. It turned out really wonky. Did not like it at all. I was planning on giving it to my sister for her birthday, but since it turned out so awful, I just kept it. Did not enjoy it. It was made out of cotton yarn. I don't usually use cotton yarn, so did not enjoy the process, did not enjoy the way it came out, what have you. And then I made a few bucket hats with variegated yarn that I thought when I ordered it was going to be more rainbow than it actually was. But it did not turn out that way. And I added ruffles with some white yarn that I just had laying around in my yarn stash because I need to get rid of some yarn anyways. So I did that, made quite a few of those. I think like 3 or 4 I made, which was a good way to stash bust some yarn. And then I made one out of Big Twist Living yarn. Forget what color, it's like, it looks like the Bi flag. I made some out of that, which was kind of cute, but fit my head really weird. And they both fit my head weird. One was too loose, one was too tight. I don't know if it was my tension, but it was like all of the 3 of the variegated yarn, initial variegated yarn that I used were too loose, and then the one that I made with the bi-prad colored looking one was too tight, so I don't know. Then I finished a temperature blanket that only lasted 4 months because the yarn I chose was too big, and so was the stitch pattern I chose, which made it just huge. So I decided to stop it at the end of May. Actually, not end of May, end of April, because it was just getting out of hand. It was so big. It was like Hobby yarn, the like Black Friday acrylic, the like, I forget the actual name of it, but it was like Black Friday acrylic yarn that they had. And I was running out of it really fast too, because it was like only 100 something yards each ball. And I was buying like packs of 5. And I was like, I'm gonna run out of all of this yarn before I finish this blanket anyways. And I'm gonna have to keep ordering it, and then they're gonna discontinue it. So I'm just gonna end it in April anyways. So that's what I did. It turned out kind of cool, but since it was only January through April, not that many colors, not that big of a color like variation in it, just because it's only 4 months and it's the coldest months of the year. Then I finished a granny square blanket I started over a year ago, and I was working on it when I got laid off, but then I got laid off, so it got packed away and all this stuff from when I was moving back to my parents, and it just got packed away there. So then I finished it, and so that was, I didn't have that much left. It was just like a couple rounds of the border, but I finished that off, and it looks really cool. It looks kind of like that Neapolitan ice cream. And yeah, so I had forgotten about it for a year, and then decided to finish it off. And that's all I have to say about that. Honestly, it's kind of a boring project because it's a giant granny square, and it was bigger than I thought it'd be when I took it out of all the packed up stuff. The last thing that I have finished is the beaded blanket made out of like Big Twist yarn and a bunch of pony beads. I think I got that Big Twist yarn when they had just started carrying it at my Michael's, and it's like generic pony beads that I got from Michael's, and some loops of thread yarn as the border. Obviously I'm a big fan of acrylic yarn because that's what I can afford, and that took me so much longer than I thought it'd take me. I thought it'd take me maybe a month and a half, and it took me like 3 months to finish, just because it was all half double crochets with beads intermixed every other row. And it's just a lot more than I thought it'd be. I got in too deep, I guess. Right now, currently, I have 3 projects going. I have a cardigan that I'm crocheting that I'm like relatively close to finishing. It was a pattern I bought on Etsy but it's kind of giving Ronald McDonald or Winnie the Pooh vibes. But it was scrap yarn, so whatever. And then I'm making a colorful, like, rainbowish scarf, but all the yarn is like tangled. It's a bunch of yarn barf right now, and I keep forgetting about it because I keep hiding it away in random places. So I keep forgetting about that. And then the last project is I am knitting a Sophie scarf. It's my first one. I've been working on it since maybe February because I keep losing it. And I'm not that big of a knitter anyways. But I said I'd make a Sophie scarf this year, and there I am. I'm like maybe halfway through it. And I started it in February, so it is what it is. Anyways, that's everything I've made or am making so far this year. I have time to finish it and do some more projects I said I wanted to make this year in the video I posted in December or January. So we'll see how many more things I get through because I haven't made that many things I said that I wanted to make. But I'm working on it. I'm trying. We'll see what happens.